All right, Warriors, today's going to be a little bit of a longer video. So if you can make it all the way through, Warrior, you are a true Warrior. So if you made it all the way through, be honest with yourself and comment Warriors Rise. Now I'm going to show you and connect the dots and show you how they're slowly and methodically, well, it seems slowly and methodically, but it's happening at a very rapid pace. We're crunching about 10 years into advancement into about 6 months. And so what's happening is they're ushering us into the new digital age, the new quantum financial system, and the fourth industrial revolution. Now I shared with you guys, my brain works very different. There was a bill that was put into action yesterday, or they were trying to get passed, that the words matter, and I'm going to break that down for you guys. But first of all, I'm Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. Now, economics are boring. It's important and it's imperative that you understand economics so you can protect your family, Warriors. As you look this way at the C word, at a pandemic, there's a whole other agenda going on this way, and that's where the uncommon 1% are. We are the people who are taking advantage of the new quantum financial system and are going to create generational wealth for generation to generation. And you can be part of this, Warrior. So stay till the end. I'm going to show you how I'm helping my Warriors manage a new quantum financial system. So today we're going to be breaking down some news that came out yesterday. So this is from Forbes magazine. Now, what I'm going to teach you how to do is to fish, Warriors. I'm going to teach you to listen for key words as you're listening to media and news. They're going to give us clues of what's happening. And it's called predictive programming. They're getting you ready. So let's talk about our lives December last year. We're all celebrating the holidays, having a great time, getting ready for Clear Vision 2020, and boom, here comes January. Kobe Bryant tragically dies. All our focus over there, and then all of a sudden, boom, the shift goes to the P word, the C word, excuse me, pandemic. And all of a sudden, all your focus is on there. You get locked down. People are losing their jobs. We're heading into food insecurity. We're going to get locked down again. The C word is rapidly increasing. You're hearing the narrative around hospital beds. California is completely getting locked down. Arizona is very close to be getting locked down. Certain countries are locked down. People are losing their jobs. 8.8 million people are going to lose their jobs. Mom and pop businesses are going to get crushed. We need a hero. We need a hero. And here it comes, Warriors. And what's happening is you're asleep to what's happening. They are shifting you into the new quantum financial system. And the poor are going to get poorer and the rich are going to get much richer. And they're going to put it in a nice little package and they're going to call it the Green Deal. They were moving into zero carbon in 2050. Now, if that's all true, that's fantastic. It's great for the earth. But here's the thing, Warriors. Don't fall asleep at the wheel. I'm going to teach you how to fish. That's what I teach my Warriors to do. So this article came out yesterday. You see it right here. It's if you see the article, where's the thing at? It's December 10th, 2020. So Sanders, Hawley mount rare bipartisan push for a $1,200 stimulus check. So it says Senator Josh Hawley and Senator Bernie Sanders on Thursday teamed up in a bipartisan bill to pass a $1,200 stimulus check as Congress struggles to reach a deal on a comprehensive relief package. It's all part of the political theater. Hawley is a staunch conservative, introduced a bill Thursday to provide another round of the direct, see what I highlighted right here? Direct cash payments in the CARE Act. $1,200 for individuals who make $75,000 or less, $2,400 to couples who make $150,000 or less, and $500 to non-dependent children. This is what I highlighted right here. Nothing else matters in this article except this. Direct cash payments. Okay, narrative. What happened the last time they put out the payments in March? What happened? What happened, guys? Dead people were getting checks. People didn't get their checks. They had people on the news. They sold you the narrative. They put people on the news. There was people that didn't get their checks. I didn't get my checks. I lost my job. I couldn't pay my bills. So they're going to come up with a solution for you. Let me walk you through the solution and how you're sleeping at the wheel and you can be part of investing in the solution. Okay, so now this, I've showed this on my YouTube videos many times. This is the Banking for All Act. This was passed by your 116th Congress. This is Bill S3571. Okay, this is the Banking for All Act. This was passed on March 23rd or enacted on March 23rd, 2020. Interesting. Wasn't that the first round of stimulus checks around there? Maybe I could be wrong. Digital dollar. The term digital dollar means the dollar balances consisting of digital ledger entries recorded as a liability in the account of the Federal Reserve Bank. Digital dollar wallets. What is that? The term digital dollar wallet means digital wallet or account maintained by the Federal Reserve Bank on behalf of any person, okay, for the purpose of holding a digital balance. So they're going to give you a direct cash payment into your digital wallet. Pass-through digital dollar wallets. The term pass-through wallet means a digital wallet or account maintained by a member bank on behalf of a person, entitled that person to the prorated share of the pooled reserve balance of the member bank maintains. So banks are going to be custodying your Federal Reserve wallet. Postal facilities. Why are postal facilities involved? This is going to be for the unbanked. There's a post office in everywhere, all over the world, right? There's always going to be a post office. So post offices now are going to be able to be a Fed type setup for the Fed Now wallet. So the keyword, direct cash payment, the narrative is being sold to you. The solution is you're locked down in your house. How are they going to get all these unbanked people on this phone? And I'm going to show you what the narrative, why do they want you on this phone? Why do they want the billions of people that are unbanked on a phone? I'm going to show you in just a moment. This is how my brain works. So let's look at this website right here. This is your Federal Reserve, okay? Instant payment education. This popped up on the Fed Now service website. And innovation in payments has been gaining momentum in the United States. Many may be wondering if they should deepen their understanding of faster, more specific instant payments. Questions can arise such as, what is a faster payment? They're getting you ready. And how is it different from an instant or real-time payment? How do different kinds of faster payment transactions process? What do payers, payees, and financial service providers need to do to make these kinds of payments? And why is now the right time to consider adopting some type of faster payment option? So this is the Federal Reserve. This is the Fed Now wallet. They already have it all built out, ready to go, warriors. So you got your act here. The narrative is starting in the news. This was yesterday. Direct cash payments right to you. You're locked down for the pandemic. Okay. So now let's go into here. So this stuff is all unfolding today. Only 398 people have watched this. So now this is the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. These are people who make decisions for our world. I'm going to show you two videos. I'm going to show you a couple minutes of each. Please bear with me. These are very important to listen to the words that they're saying. Listen.
In this next session, Kristalina Georgieva, who is the Managing Director at the International Monetary Fund, will give us a global perspective on how payments will look and continue to evolve in the digital age. So let's cross to Kristalina to hear opinions on how payments are to evolve.
Thank you very much, Manisha. Never too late to join the International Monetary Fund. I just did it last year. I want to thank also the Monetary Authority of Singapore for the invitation. It is a great honor to join policymakers and entrepreneurs from around the world. 2020 has been an extremely difficult year. The pandemic has caused immense suffering. Too much of the economic toll has been borne by the most vulnerable people in wealthier and in poorer countries alike. But there are some bright spots: heroic nurses and doctors saving lives, essential workers keeping the lights on, water running, stores shelved full. And there are many others who kept businesses going, like the people of the technology industry. You have profoundly changed our way of working, interacting, and living our daily lives. You have brought the digital future to our fingertips and to our doorsteps. So let me capture a vision of that future and the 4 cornerstones needed to build it. Now, picture a furniture maker, a skilled artisan working in a factory in Thailand. Recession hits, she loses her job, then with unemployment benefits sent to her phone, she starts her own workshop and sells locally. The artisan makes and receives mobile payments. She chooses to share her payment data, allowing her to get an online loan to hire people and to grow her business. One day, she gets a message asking if she ships abroad. You no longer have to be big to be global. A digital platform processes her payments from abroad at a low cost, and it provides insurance, savings, and investment options for her deposits, making her livelihood more resilient. None of this would have been possible even 10 years ago. This is a story about human drive and ingenuity, a story about the revolution in payments that erases physical distance, that generates data, which is the new gold, and hence often the new collateral.
Keyword, data is the new gold. Wait till you hear what I'm going to show you in just a moment.
It is about payments that are cheap and widely accessible, that are seamlessly integrated in our digital lives.
XRP.
And as the way we make payments changes, our world changes. We can provide access to financial services for 1.7 billion adults who are still unbanked, and help many more vulnerable people who are currently paying high fees. Also, the banking and financial industry is being reshaped by data, automation, and real-time analytics. And finally, payment innovations can change the international monetary system, the ways in which we transact across borders, access foreign assets, exchange currencies, and price goods.
Boom, crypto, right there. She just explained the blockchain and crypto. Let's go a little bit further, warriors. So the IMF, same lady, very important. This just happened today. I streamed it live. Now listen to what he says. Listen clearly, warriors.
Into taxation for the 21st century. And there is a specific question I would be very interested to hear your professional view on. You talked about digital and the problem we have in measuring intangibles. If we were to have the digital economy to support a more inclusive development, how do we measure its contribution? Do you have any concrete recommendations for my colleagues that are charged with making sure that data is as reflective of developments in reality as possible? Is there something that you would recommend to us to do on that front?
Well, you know, you're the experts and I'm the student, so this is a difficult, difficult question to learn. I've got a team of 10 wonderful postdocs in Oxford who, amongst other things, are trying to get their heads around this, and there's a series of papers on our website that reflect on this. But I think part of the challenge is to think about the question of where production is happening, where the value added is, and this tension between national and global is absolutely acute. The depreciation allowances that are built in to intellectual property, into other non-tangible assets is absolutely right. The valuation is often very, very difficult. How do you value intellectual property? How do you value software, etc.? And it can fluctuate very vastly. But my sense is that we're going to and then there's this question of offshoring, just sort of not knowing where it is because it goes into some black box in the Cayman Islands or somewhere. So my sense is that we're going to have to, in a way, try and triage this in two respects. One is we're going to have to work on revenue or profit-based when it comes to taxes. Metrics rather than on others, and I'm very in sympathy, for example, with what the European Union and Commission are doing in this respect, and I know that that's part of your background at the Commission. So you know, some of these numbers are just totally out of kilter in terms of the revenues generated in a place and the tax paid. It's also true, by the way, of the financial sector, not only of the digital sector, banks. And a second is going to be to try and insist, and I think it will have to come through regulation, that we get greater transparency on what the intellectual property is that's being valued, because a lot of it's just in a safe. Now, it might never be used. And that raises a whole other question, which is beyond, in the sense, the IMF's domain, but is something which I know will be at the heart of the new administration in the US, and is at the heart of the administration in Brussels, which is the regulation of tech firms, and what data they share and don't share. And this big question, which is related to the productivity question, which is, are the superstar firms vacuuming up intellectual property and competition and undermining the competitive landscape, even if consumers love them for what they're giving as so-called free goods, not paying for the data? So those are all questions, but I would encourage, and I will follow up with your colleagues on this question by putting them in touch with people, my PhD students and others who know much more than this than I do.
So he's basically talking about Facebook and things like that, where they're literally sucking up your data because you're using these free platforms. They're sucking up your data, selling your data. Now it's going to get a little bit deeper. Watch this.
Well, that is why we always count on the younger generation to bring ideas. This is really fascinating conversation. I want to ask you, as you know, I'm given a signal that we need to aim to wrapping up. Time is flying. In closing, since this was about the kind of economics of pandemics and do we have the data,
Listen.
if you were to draw the lesson from this pandemic for how we anticipate, predict, prevent, and respond to pandemics in the future, what do we need to do to have necessary information for it? You spoke about WHO, need for WHO to be on stronger footing. What else do you have in your toolbox to
World
fix
Health
that?
Organization.
Yeah, I mean, I just briefly on the separate health and economic dimensions of this. On the health dimension, there has to be surveillance everywhere in the world in a way that becomes centralized and analyzed, and that's all possible with existing machine learning and other capabilities. I think where we're heading to is the use of mobile phones as tracking devices for biopathogens, for possible pandemics. I think what we have to head to is the global distribution.
So stop for just a moment. Here's how my brain works. They're going to get you on instant payments on your phone. Did you see how many people were unbanked? They want to get everybody on their phone. He just said so they could track for global pandemics.
Of SWAT teams, of rapid response teams that are distributed globally, that can be in any location in the world within a few hours in order to analyze the data, in order to, if necessary, to isolate it. And that is within capabilities. So I think within the future, if we have the will, all our mobile phones or smart watches and other bracelets and things that we could have would have that capability of sensor devices. And then the question is, can you...
So basically it would sense if you had a virus or something going on, they would send a SWAT team to isolate you.
Respond effectively to the signals, and how do you do that? And of course, we are making immense strides. But this is all something that the WHO has the capability to manage if it's given the mandate and resources to work with people and with countries. The economic data that I think we've learned that we're so unable to understand some of the dimensions, that granularity I talked about in my lecture, the need for real-time data, for the access to data, whether it's from the tech firms or whether it's from other aspects of the economy, and the ability to analyze that at scale, which is going to require much greater machine learning and AI capabilities in data, because the volume of data is, so vast that the normal Excel spreadsheets, as we've even seen in the UK, we discovered that one of the reasons we couldn't track.
AI, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, VeChain, Internet of Things. It's coming, warriors.
Back and traces because our Excel spreadsheet ran out of columns. Is that sort of issue is very much a thing of the past. So the capability to manage it, and then in the seat that you're in, of course, to coordinate with your colleagues around the world, and that is something which needs to be greatly invigorated. My hope is we won't have another pandemic, that this will be the pandemic to end pandemics. But if we do, we will be in so much better position to be able to respond. And of course, the vaccine manufacturing capability also needs to be geared up and be on standby. These are tiny amounts of money, tiny compared to the cost of the pandemic. We're talking about 1/1,000,000th or even less of the cost.
So if you're not convinced yet, warriors, we are in the biggest shift in generational wealth. We are moving into the fourth industrial revolution. You're moving to the new quantum financial system, and it's all being packaged in a pandemic. What they always say is, don't let a good pandemic go to waste. A good crisis go to waste. Think about that, warriors. September 11th, you used to be able to go to the gates before that. After September 11th, you couldn't go through the gates. Security, they started monitoring our phones, right? And so we're moving into the new quantum financial system. We're moving into the new fourth industrial revolution. But what you're doing is you're believing your neighbor, Julie or Bobby, and saying, hey, listen, that cryptocurrency is a fraud. It's happening, warriors. And there's very few people involved because you've been sold a narrative for a long time, predictive programming. But they're slowly, methodically. Now you're going to question cryptocurrency as you get your $1,200 stimulus check on your FedNow wallet as you go to buy a flat screen TV. It's all about rationale, warriors, opening up your mind, listening to words, and understanding that history doesn't repeat itself, but it definitely rhymes. And we are going through the biggest shift in generational wealth. So if you want help, warriors, we have a Warrior Academy right now. A Warrior Academy where we have 200 warriors globally, 9 different countries. We have a crypto call every single Thursday where I share my exact portfolio. We share new projects coming up. We help you understand the new quantum financial system, subconscious mind programming around money, understanding economics. I show my own portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice, but I show you exactly what I'm doing to manage the quantum financial system. We also work on our mind, body, and immunity. We work out with you live daily, every single day. Detailed nutrition plan. And we help you with the accountability warriors. So if you're ready to get your life in order to be part of the biggest shift in generational wealth, click and take action now, warriors. You made it this far. It's time to activate, warriors. There's not much time left. Literally, the clock is ticking to take advantage of the biggest shift in generational wealth. Please look me in the eyes. The biggest shift in generational wealth, the clock is ticking. The bull run is here. So click the link down below to join for 90% off, or you can join our free Facebook group. We go live every single day. As we always say, warriors rise. Don't get left behind. Let's go.